Hi, all. Welcome to the session on CS22071 Agile Methodology presented by R. Samudi, Assistant Professor of Computer Science and Engineering. In this session, we are going to see Earls' 5 schools of knowledge management from Unit 3, Agility and Knowledge Management. Now, let's understand what is the Earls taxonomy. So, Earls taxonomy is a research-based framework that classifies knowledge management strategies into distinct schools so leaders can choose approaches that fit their goals, cultures, and take people economic biases. It was introduced in Mitchell J. Earls' 2001 paper Knowledge Management Strategies Toward a Taxonomy. So, Earls' taxonomy is like map for knowledge management strategies. Instead of one size fit for all approaches, it groups strategies into different schools, each reflecting unique priorities, culture, and organizational needs. Leaders can pick the school that best fits their context. This framework was introduced by Mitchell J. Earl in 2001 and remains a foundation in knowledge management studies. Next slides, we are going to see the 7 schools of knowledge management. Here, Earl groups the schools into 3 clusters. The number 1 is technocratic and number 2 economic and value or monetization, and third one is the behavior and people organizational centrics. In the technocratic, we have the systems and cartography and engineering. In the economic, we have the commercial. In that behavior cluster, we have organizational, spatial, and strategies. Now, we will see this 7 as one by one. Number 1, it is a system. It builds the repositories, knowledge bases for reuse. That is, the system school is about creating a database or repositories so knowledge is stored and reused across the organization, that is, capture once and reuse many times. And next one is the cartography, that is, map who knows what to find the experts fast. Cartographic means creating a knowledge maps who knows what, so teams can quickly find the right expert. So find the knower, not just the knowledge. And third one is the engineering. Engineering is a embed the knowledge in processes and workflows. The engineering school waves knowledge into day-to-day workflows so it becomes part of how work gets done. Knowledge built into the process. And fourth one is the commercial. It treats knowledge or IP as asset to monetize. The commercial school sees the knowledge as an intellectual property that can be monetized, and patents, licensing are proprietary methods. So knowledge as a currency. And next one is the organizational, grow communities and network for sharing. The organizational schools focus on building networks and communities of practice where people share experience and insights. So community grow knowledge. And last one is spatial. It is design spaces that are physical or digital that spark flow. The facial school believes that right physical or digital spaces, open offices, collaborative platforms spark knowledge sharing naturally. Spaces that make idea flow. And last one is strategic. It aligned with the knowledge management with the core capabilities and strategic. The strategic school links the knowledge management directly to strategy, aligning it with long-term business goals and competitive advantage. Here, the knowledge is serving the strategy. In next slide, we will see the system schools, that is technocratic. Here, the aim or focus of the system school is codify the explicit knowledge into repositories so people can find and reuse it consistently. The system school is about capturing the explicit knowledge and codified into repositories like wikis, intranets or portal. So it can be reused across the organization. So overall the system school means store it once and use it many times. Here, the typical mechanism is intranets, portals, wikis, case bases, taxonomies, metadata, and search semantic tools. So these relies on digital systems, that is the intranet, wikis, metadata and a semantic search tool to make your knowledge easy to access and retrieve. That is technology as a librarian used when knowledge is relatively stable and repeatable and compliance or scale matters. It works best when knowledge is stable, repeatable and compliance or large scale consistency is critical. Best for structured and repeatable knowledge. Here the benefits are faster onboarding, fewer duplicates efforts and consistent answer. The benefits include quick onboarding, less duplication of work and consistency in answers across team. So consistency at scale. Here the risks are content goes stale, low contribution without curation and incentives. The main risk is content going stale without active curation and incentives. People stop contributing and knowledge loses value. A library without readers. And next slides we'll see about the cartographic school, that is the part of the technographic. Here what is the aim or focus means it creates a maps of expertise to help people find who knows, not just documents. The cartography school is about mapping people, not just document. It helps identifies who has expertise so you know how exactly where to go for answers. So find the expert, not just the file. Here what are the typical mechanism means the expertise directories, skill profiles, SME locators and social graphs. These tools like expert directories, skill profiles and even social graph to show who knows what inside the organization, a knowledge DPS. So when we need to use the cartography school means tacit knowledge changes quickly and cross team problem solving is common. It works best when tacit knowledge changes quickly, for example, in fast moving environment and when solving problem across team is frequent. So it is best when knowledge is lives in people, not in papers. Here, the benefit is it cuts the time to find an expert and improves the knowledge flow across the silos. The main benefit are faster access to experts and better knowledge flow across silos. So, less searching, more solving. Here the risks are out of date profiles, handle privacy, consent and automate the profile refresh. The risk are stale or inaccurate profiles and privacy concerns. Automating the updates and handling the consent are key. A map is only useful if it is current. In next slide, we will see the engineering school, that is the part of cluster under the technocratic. Here, the aim of the engineering school is to embed the knowledge in process or workflows to standardize and improve the quality. The engineering school is about embedding the knowledge directly into workflows and process. So quality and consistency are built in, not added later. The knowledge baked into process. And next one is typical mechanisms. Here SOP, BPM suits, lesson learned loops, lean, Kaizen, Six Sigma practices. So these are the typical mechanism used in the engineering schools. It uses methods like the standard operating procedures. SOP means standard operating procedures and BPMS business process management suites and quality framework, that is lean, Kaizen, Six Sigma. From SOP, that is standard operating procedure, to Six Sigma, the process is the carrier of knowledge. And when we are going to use means repeatability, scale, compliance are critical, that is regulator or high volume work. This work is best in regulator or high volume environments like pharma, manufacturing or banking, where repeatability and compliance are essential. The best for industries where mistakes are costly. Here the benefits are reduced variation, clearer and of measurable process control. The main benefits are fewer variation, smoother handoffs between the teams and ability to measure and control the quality precisely. So, consistency you can measure. Here, the risks are rigidity update processes as learning emerges to avoid workarounds. The risk rigidity if processes are not updated as new learning emerges, people may create workarounds that defeat the purpose. A rigid process breaks, a learning process adapts. In next slide, we will see the commercial school. It is come under the cluster of the economy. So, the commercial school is the only school in the economic cluster focusing on treating the knowledge as valuable asset. The commercial schools views the knowledge as the intellectual property, something to protect, value and monetize just like a financial assets. Here the aims are we have to protect and value and monetize it. And what are the typical mechanism in the commercial school means the intellectual property portfolios, licensing, knowledge audits, valuation and branded training services. When we are going to use mean priority know how offers differentiations are marketable service. This approach works best when priority know how sets you apart in the market or when knowledge itself can be sold as a service. When what you know sells. Here the benefits are new revenue streams, clearer business for knowledge management investments. The benefits are direct revenue streams and a strong business case for the investing in knowledge management system, knowledge that pays back. Here the what are the risk means here over secrecy can undermine internal sharing and learning. The risk is too much secrecy. When protecting knowledge reduces sharing and slows down internal learning. In next slide, we are going to see the organizational school that does come under the behavior cluster. Here, the aim or focus of the organizational school enables the communities of practice and networks to share the tacit know-how. The schools values the informal sharing of tacit knowledge. That knowledge lives in people, not yet documents. By creating a communities of practice, mentorship programs, or peer learning groups, we enable deep knowledge flow through the dialogue and shared experience. So, real learning lives in the relationship. Here, the typical mechanisms are COPS, mentoring, brown bag session, facilitated forums and recognition programs. So these mechanisms build spaces both formal and informal for people to talk, learn and share. Things like COPS, mentoring circles or casual brown bag sessions work together to nurture the knowledge organically. So that is we have to talk, we have to connect and then we have to learn. So when we are going to use means the problems are complex, evolving and solution emerge through the dialogue. Use this approach when you are tackling the ambiguous challenges that can't be solved via documentation alone. Often find in innovation, design thinking, or complex organizational change. So, complex problems need collaborative brains. Here the benefits are spreads the craft knowledge, boost engagement and problem solving culture. When people learn directly from each other, it builds not only the competence but also motivation, creative problem solving within the teams, especially valuable for deep domain expertise. So, shared wisdom uh, gives a richer solution to the problems. Here, the risk of volunteer fatigue and drift provide sponsorship and cadence and visible wins. Without regular commitment and visible results, the communities can lose steam. That's why leadership backing, a steady cadence, and celebrating wins are crucial to sustaining the momentum. So keep the spark alive with support. In next slide, we are going to see the spatial school come under the behavior cluster. Here we are going to focus about the shape, physical or digital spaces that trigger serendipity and collaborations. This school is about designing spaces, whether the physical offices or digital platforms, that encourage chance encounters and creative collaborations. The idea is that a right environment sparks the innovations, that is, spaces that spark ideas. Here the what are the mechanism used means here open studios, hack rooms, lab rotation, virtual team rooms, whiteboards are the typical mechanism of the spacious school under the behavior cluster. The mechanism include open, flexible workspaces like hack rooms, labs, and in the digital space, shared whiteboards or virtual team rooms. They are designed to lower the barriers and increases spontaneous interactions. So, when we are going to use means you need innovation, cross pollination across the diverse teams. This was based in innovation driven context where teams from different disciplines need to collide and share ideas like R&D labs, design thinking workshops, or agile project apps when innovation needs solutions. Here, the benefits are more idea flow, faster informal learning, creative solutions. The payoff is a richer flow of ideas, accelerated informal learning, and breakthrough the creativity through unexpected connections. So, innovation thrives collisions. Here the risk of the spatial school, that is distractions or proximity bias, ensure the equity for remote hybrid teams. The challenge is balance. While serendipity can spark ideas, it can also create a distraction. Plus, you must ensure remote and hybrid workers don't feel excluded or overlooked. So, collaboration, not chores. In next slide, we are going to see the strategic school, that is come under the behavior cluster. Here the focus on we have to tie the knowledge management directly to core capabilities and competitive strategy. The school takes the knowledge management out of the back office and puts it at the heart of the strategy. Knowledge is not just a support, it becomes a driver of competitive advantage and transformation. So, knowledge as a strategic weapon. Here, the typical mechanisms are capability, knowledge roadmaps, strategy lead portfolios, targeted investment. So, mechanism here look like the capability roadmaps, strategic portfolios. So this help business priorities and growth opportunities from knowledge management project to knowledge management portfolio. When we are going to use this tool when organization is transforming entire new markets, building the unique competitiveness that demand focused knowledge alignment, that is perceiving the transformation, building the distinctive competency. Here the benefits are knowledge management spend aligns to outcomes, clear prioritizations and governance. This approach ensures the knowledge management investment have a measurable link to outcomes, providing clearer prioritizations, stronger governance, the proof of business value. So, every dollar spent on the knowledge management drives business result. Here the risk are can stay abstract, anchor strategy to concrete programs and KPIs. So don't let the strategy float, tie it down with actions. So up to this, we are learned the Earls school management. Here we have learned the under 3 clusters and 7 schools of management. Okay, thank you.